Hello everyone and welcome to Introduction to Internet Marketing Part 2. Today I'm introducing the key concepts related to e-marketing or internet marketing. And at the very beginning, let's define what is really meant by internet marketing or online marketing. Well, first of all, I consider the two as synonyms. In other words, internet marketing or online marketing program is any marketing program that's really based on the internet. In other words, you do need to have internet connectivity. Opposite of internet or online marketing would be offline marketing, traditional marketing where we have maybe radio ads or billboard ads or any type of marketing that doesn't involve the internet. On the other hand, we have terms like digital marketing. What is really digital marketing? In my opinion, digital marketing is actually a bit broader category than internet marketing. In other words, it involves any marketing on digital platforms, digital devices. What are the digital devices? Well, your phone, smartphone, your smart TV, your MP3 player, etc. So really, your text messaging could be considered as type of digital marketing program. So really, digital marketing is a bit more complex term, and it involves a little bit more. Another set of terms that we need to define: internet, intranet, and extranet. Well, as you can see on this picture here, intranet is internet within your organization. In other words, the employees of a company are connected through their HR system. Maybe they can view their salary online, or within school, the students can interact with each other, but that's all within boundaries of an organization. On the other hand, extranet is sort of extension of intranet. That's where the company gets connected with the suppliers, with customers maybe, and the suppliers can log in to company's website and they can place an order, or they can interact with the company through the internet. So really, intranet plus a couple of selected suppliers or customers is actually referred to as extranet. But when the company goes on the internet and publishes their website for all consumers, for anyone to see, that's really the internet. What is the internet? Well, it is a network of networks. It is a network of connected computers. That's really what the internet can be defined as. And now, as we can see, internet, that's where we deal with our customers. Extranet, again, marketing, but also for purchasing. And intranet has to do with our, for example, IT department, or HR department, where things happen within an organization. Another set of terms: e-business versus e-commerce. What is the difference? Is there any difference? Well, think about it. As you know, commerce stands for transactions or trading or money changing hands. So whenever you have some transactions, that's really e-commerce. But e-business, on the other side, includes e-commerce as well as any other electronic information processes. So whatever happens on the internet or through electronic media in terms of the organization transfer and filing information, exchanging information, that's considered e-business. So as you can see, e-business is much more complex term as opposed to e-commerce that can happen on a sell side or on a buy side. Look at this picture. This is your organization. These are your customers. And through intermediaries you connect with them. And these are your suppliers, which you connect to either directly or through intermediaries. So when you transact with them, when you buy stuff here, this is buy-side e-commerce. And when you sell stuff, it's called sell-side e-commerce. As you can see, e-business involves both types of e-commerce activities and also internal data and information processes within an organization. As you've noticed, there's lots of eyes, I should say, on the internet. That's actually why my company is called iPower Lab. I is used very often, as you know, maybe iPhone, iPod, and other devices made by Apple. But also, why do we use the term I? First of all, Internet is often referred to as the information superhighway. It's all about information. You probably heard some people saying location, location, and location as a critical success factors for any retail or real estate business. Well, similarly, on the Internet, it's all about information. Internet is information superhighway. And if you really want to be successful on the Internet, you have to involve lots of content, lots of information. The second I may be interactivity. You are today in the center of the Internet universe. No wonder Times Person of the Year a few years ago was you. In other words, you were voted as a Times Person of the Year because you are in the middle of the Internet. With YouTube and Facebook, you are creating the content, and that's, by the way, called Web 2.0. So it's all about interactivity. And then the next I would be integration. Today we have to integrate online and offline. TV with, for example, advertising on Google. Everything has to be integrated. Email marketing with billboard marketing. And finally, individualization. You've probably purchased things on Amazon, and you've noticed that Amazon does a superior job in recommending things that you might be interested in. They have actually discovered that I have particular interest in viral marketing, and that's why they keep recommending me products and books that have to do with word of mouth and viral marketing, as you can see from this slide here. Let me for a moment explain how Internet really works. I don't know if you ever thought of that, but what happens, this is really you and your computer. Well, now maybe you have a tablet or something like that, but it doesn't really make any difference. So when you're on Google, for example, or you're in your web browser and you want to get some information, that's this arrow. You're sending some request, you're requesting some information, and you do that really through your computer, but you're connected with the outer world through a company called ISP, Internet Service Provider. Maybe that's TELUS or Shaw or Sprint or AOL or any such company. They are referred as companies that provide Internet service providers. And through the Internet you connect with the Internet service provider of the hosting company, and that's where really the information resides. For example, the information about my own website, I believe I reside in Toronto on one particular server. So when you type www.ipowerlab.com through TELUS and Shaw and Sprint and AOL, this information gets requested from my server, which is, by the way, in the other part of the world. It's in part of the country. It's in Toronto. And there is a server who actually hosts that information. That's why this is called hosting company. And they have various information, log, transaction log file, pictures, texts, everything that's on my website resides on that particular server. And so the server recognizes your request, and quickly enough it sends you the information back, which actually gets delivered on your screen. So in a nutshell, that's how Internet works. But in order to do that, you need to have the domain name. That's where I bought my domain name, iPowerLab. So the domain name really will direct, when you type in www.mycompanyname.com, the domain name is like a pointer, like an address book that will have an information, so-called DNS, domain name server. And that information will actually point the computer where to look for information. So really, for example, if you type in in the browser www.ipowerlab.com, the user will be directed to my hosting company, which is actually HostGator in some cases, or it's Corax in some other cases. Those are the hosting companies, and I've shown you the hosting companies. This is an example of a hosting company. So In this particular example, HostGator is a hosting company, and that particular company will serve the information for you, whatever you requested. So that's how it works. One more look. So you request some information through the domain name, you type in domain name, or through the search request, and the information gets found on some server, and you get that information back. And now let us just define a couple of more terms today. First of all, you've probably heard terms like consumer to consumer or business to consumer. Most likely you've heard terms like B2B or B2C, but you haven't heard terms like C2G or something like that. But let's define it. Look at this matrix. We have from, whoever the information is going from, and then to, whoever this information is going to. So for example, if the information is going from business to customer, that's like Amazon. They're selling you books there. So they're serving the customer. So business to customer, Amazon books. Or maybe business to business, where different businesses like Procter & Gamble and Walmart interact through the internet. Or you have maybe government to government, who governments of different countries exchange different information. Or maybe you have consumer to consumer, like on eBay, where you interact with some other persons in the other part of the world and you buy or sell stuff through eBay. Or even on Facebook, you interact with other consumers directly. And there are different other types of relationships, like for example consumer to government when you file tax return, and back government to consumer when they send you the tax notice, for example if it gets sent electronically. So these are some of the types of relationships that exist on the internet. And finally, let me introduce the 7 C's of a successful website. And then in the next presentation, I'm going to talk more about these principles, and the next presentation is entitled The 10 Principles for Successful Marketing. But let's first define those 7 C's of a successful website. You heard me insist that internet is all about I, interactivity, individualization, integration, information, etc. But now we are talking about C's. So what are the 7 C's of a successful website? Well, think about it. What really makes a website successful, in your opinion? Probably it's lots of information or content. That would be number 1 in my opinion. Didn't I say information, 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 right? Well, in this particular context, this is called content. Then we have nice, visually appealing context, site's layout, and nice visual design. That's important as well. And then the site needs to be able to interact and sell stuff to customers. Of course, that's called commerce. Of course, that's not always necessary, but most websites do enable e-commerce transactions. And then you have community, maybe through Facebook or Twitter or through discussion forums. You need to enable that people talk to each other, maybe through frequently asked questions and discussion forums, but they need to connect with each other. And then, speaking of connecting, your website has to be connected with other websites on the internet. Your website shouldn't be an island in the world of internet. It should be connected with lots of incoming links and outgoing links as well, going to other websites. Your website should also communicate really well. You should respond really quickly to any request. And you should make it simple for people to communicate with you. And finally, customization. As you've seen when we talked about Amazon website, the website has to be personalized, so to say, and to apply the principle of individualization, and it has to have some unique content specifically just for you. One-on-one marketing, some people call it. Well, we are still not in an era of one-on-one marketing, but we are getting there. So those would be the 7 C's of a successful website. We'll continue in the next presentation with 10 principles for successful online marketing. Thank you.